All right. All right, guys. So basically, the Miami Hurricane spring game wrapped up the other day. Florida State wrapped up a week ago, week or a couple days ago. Right now, I have on here the FSU fan that came to the game all dressed up. Kind of got a little bit of booze and ahs and everything. So, kind of want to go behind the scene of what happened and what all happened at the game. I'm pretty sure if you're on Twitter, you've seen a couple videos here and there. The fans going crazy. Um, so, first of all, introduce yourself, my guy.
Yo, what up? My name's Daniel Golightly. Yeah, Golightly's actually my last name. I've been stuck with it since birth. But yeah, Daniel Golightly, man. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. Or as we like to say, I'm from Louisville. We don't say we're from Kentucky. But yeah, man. Just came out there
All right. So, first off, how long have you been a Florida State Seminole fan?
since I was about 7.
Okay.
Back in Kentucky, man. It was really just Kentucky's a basketball state. You know what I'm saying? Cardinals and Wildcats. That's life and death up there. I was watching a Florida State versus Florida game, and Chief Osceola came out there, threw the spear in the ground. I saw all the people start, oh, I'm like, yo, what is this? I don't know nothing about it, but I need to, and that was it. I was guarding and go for that day 4.
Okay. What year was that?
That was back in 19. Good God, I'm 81, so that'd be about 1988, 89 around there.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Man, that's a
I'm
long
old.
time. I was actually
Yeah, I'm
born in
old.
1988, so you well older than me.
Yeah, I'm 40, man.
All
I'm
right.
a man. I'm
So,
40.
okay. So I was actually there. I was at the end of the bleachers when you guys made your exit.
Hmm.
Uh, if you've seen on Twitter, we spoken on Twitter. You see the 6 second clips. Of you guys exiting. I have more, but I didn't put it out because I didn't want your family face to be out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What made you decide to come to the game that day?
The crazy thing is, man, this is our 5th time in a row. We've been from when y'all had it at Trans Pal.
Okay.
No, the first one we went to was actually at that stadium a while ago, and then that was the first time we went, and then I think the second one was at the Miami Hard Rock Stadium, and after that it was a Trans Pal. After that, right back. So we've been doing it for a while. But the truth is, like, people think I do it just to troll. Dude, I love football. You know what I'm saying? Like, put it this way. If it was a troll move for me and I lived in Tallahassee, I would have drove down here to do it. Man, if I lived in Tallahassee, I wouldn't be making that drive. But I live like 10 minutes away from the stadium. So it's like, it's free. I love football. 99% of the time when you see me, today will be the one day I'm not, but I've always got something Florida State literally attached to me. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So
Okay. So you're a diehard.
I'm a diehard, man. So like
Okay.
I'm always like, plus there's a lot of hype surrounding y'all right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
there's a lot of, oh, they got Crystal Ball, and oh, they got the staff, and Tyler Van Spike and all this other stuff. Like, it's all this hype about the Canes
Hold on,
right
hold
now.
on.
So I'm
Rewind,
like,
rewind. You say Tyler Van Dyke or you said Spike? I thought I
oh,
heard Spike.
my bad, I said Spike. So
Go ahead, man.
so there's a lot of hype, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, okay, let's see what these boys are about. Let's see. I mean, because the way I tell it, you can't tell a lot from a spring game anyway.
Right.
If we being real, if
Right.
your running back moves the ball, is he good, or does your defensive, your run defense suck?
Right, right.
You
If
know,
your wide receivers making big time plays, is your corners that good? If
are
your
your
safety's
receivers the
that
truth?
good?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
So
get you.
so I like to see, and I love to watch football, man. I've gone to an FAU game. I've gone to an FIU game. Um, I love football, man. I played football my whole life, so it was like any chance I get to watch it, I love it. And then I got that Kobe Mamba mentality of I love to hate too. I know what's coming.
I get you.
I don't show up and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm being greeted like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I know what's
Yeah,
coming.
it's expected. It's expected. See,
Bro,
me,
it's
me
expected.
personally, on my channel, I have plenty of Florida State fans because I like the trolling. I love the trolling. I love when you
Yeah.
guys troll us, and I love to troll you guys the same. I'm on a lot of the Facebook pages where it's back and forth, back and forth. I love it. sometimes I go on there. You can even watch videos on my channel where I go on there and read the ones that you guys are trolling me, and I just kick back and laugh. Like it's fun for me. It makes the sports fun. Like
it makes it fun, especially look at this, especially when at one point neither one of us are doing what we're supposed to be doing. It's like neither one of us had anything to look forward to for a season. So it's like the only thing that keeps that rivalry going is the fans. Yep. So you know what I mean? Like I've had some epic ones, man. You probably didn't see some. I still got pictures of them. When y'all started the season a couple of years ago.
I have seen you before though. When I had took a look at your profile, I was like, I think I've seen you on Streeter Footballville's videos before, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I was like, oh, he's definitely familiar with the fan base.
Oh yeah, and like I did I remember whenever y'all started the season 0-2. Was that like 2 years ago? So I went.
I don't want to think about it.
Look. So I literally went. I'll send you a picture. I literally went to the overpass over the turnpike, and I made a big poster that said 0-2. And I had an FSU flag on the left and an upside down U on the right. And they were driving under on a few motherfucking cows.
Yo, hey, that's trolling to another level, man.
Yeah, and then we got beat 52-10.
So I'm pretty sure you're on Twitter. You see the comments and everybody going crazy. There's a guy by the name of David Wilson. I'm saying. So when you came up the stands, you know, the fans started booing. Unfortunately, for some of the players on the field, there was a couple drop balls. So the reports are going out that the fans are booing the players. But if you watch the video, you see you walking with your family and thing. I'm like, man, they dropped the ball on that one.
Now, that's the thing, man. That's what I've been telling people. I said, now, because we didn't show up to the third. So I said, I saw the little reports about the boos, and this is the second time this has happened. Last time was at Trans-Pow with Tate Martell. And they were like, oh, you know, they weren't booing Tate. They were booing some Florida State fan. And I was like, nah, homie. I was like, I'd already been in my seat an hour watching the game. I was like, there was a 10-yard in route that somebody ran, and I swear to you, I'll put this on my kids. He literally threw the ball like 5 yards short in the dirt, and the crowd started to boo him. But then they're like, nah, they were booing some Florida State fan. I was like, dude, I was already there. And this game, I didn't get there till the third. We got there super late, man. Like, I wanted to get there in the beginning. So any boos that happened in that first half, that ain't on me. I wasn't there yet.
This time around, it was all on you this time. Because I remember when you came down, I was like, my phone was on like 4%. And I heard the boos before because I was watching the game and I heard the boos. So I turned around and I saw you and your family coming to make y'all exit. And I was like, 4%. If I open this camera right now, this shit's going to die.
It's going to die.
I was like, got like 20-second video, you guys leaving and everything. You saw me post a tweet. You replied and everything on Twitter about you guys coming to watch a real spring game and all that.
I don't know about the real. Put it like this. Like I said, I can't tell nothing from any spring game. Our spring game, in my opinion, our team is going to be down, set, hit, run this play. If it doesn't work, Jordan Travis do something.
All right. So let me get your take on it. Your spring game, you watched it, correct?
Yeah.
Well, what's your thoughts on, positional wise, defense, offense, the direction that you guys are going? How did you feel watching it?
I feel like it's going to be another situation for us where the defense has to carry everything. Like, I feel like it's going to be one of the positions where if you can stop Jordan Travis in the run, then you got a good chance of stopping us. You know what I mean? Okay. But the defense, after a while, I was a defensive player, and I'm gonna tell you that whole we have that bend but don't break mentality. But dude, when you're on the field, non-freaking stop, sooner or later you're gonna break. And if you're running a no huddle offense like we do, trying to go fast, it's like your defense might get a 3 and out and step off the field, and then 45 seconds later, a minute later, right back on the field. You know what I mean? So like, I like what I saw with our DBs. But once again, like I said, man, it's hard to tell because it's like if they're shutting down, the defense was shutting them down, but it's like, is that because our defense is good or does our offense just really suck? You know what I mean? Like
you can't win in the spring. That's the
sucky part about spring games that I tell. Look, I got FSU fans that hate me for at times, and I tell them all the time, like, you can't tell nothing for spring games, man. Like you can see if your quarterback can throw, you can see if your receivers can catch, but it's just so hard. If your defensive line is getting penetration, is your offensive line terrible? Or are they
Yep.
that daggone good? Like, you
Yep.
don't know. So
Now,
I don't know, man. Only thing I know is
now
we better
the
win at least 8 games this year.
now the hiring of Mike Norvell. Do you think that was a good choice, or do you think you guys should have went with somebody else? And how you feel about the status of possibly Deion Sanders?
At the end of the day, and I'll say this, listen, I've been kicked out of like 2 FSU groups already. I'm loved and hated. So because I keep it real. I keep it 100. At the end of the day, we hired Mike Norvell because that's who we could afford.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and understand this. I completely support Mike Norvell because he is the coach of Florida State. You understand? Like, I'm a Florida State fan. I'm not a Willie Taggart fan. I'm not a Mike Norvell fan. I am an FSU fan. So whoever's in charge, I support you and I hope it goes well. Because if you do well, then we do well. But at the end of the day, what we did, and I tell people this, what we did when we fired Taggart so fast, we set the bar right here. We said you got a year and a half to make things happen. And if you don't, you're done. Now, you're not going to get a Kelly. You're not going to get a Venables. You're not going to get somebody like that to come over there knowing you're going to give me a year and a half and I got to go. So at that point, all big name coaches were off the market for us because they're not going to take that chance. Who the heck is going to leave Clemson as a DC?
And on top of that too, you're still paying Taggart at the same time, so the money is kind of grabbed a little bit, pulling towards
Yeah.
FAU. That's what he's at. FAU.
Yeah, but I told people like I said, like when I hold every coach accountable for the same. Like I'm actually going at it with some dude on Twitter right now, the Seminole fan, because he said, "Oh, now we missed out on Mims. Now it's Mike's fault. If we had got him, it would have been Atkins' job. Atkins did a good job." I was like, "Bro, don't act like suddenly we're picking who to blame." I said 2019, if we had false starts, it was on the staff. Now 2019, we have false starts. It's on the players. I said 2019, 5 wins was not acceptable at Florida State. 2020, 2021, 5 wins is, hey, we're climbing. Like, come on, man, stop. I'm like I said, I hold every coach and staff accountable to the same standard. None of them get a pass from me. I don't want to hear crap about freaking COVID. I don't want to hear crap about none of that stuff. Gus Malzahn just went and beat Florida last year in his first year at UCF. So then the next thing I get.
Okay, so basically for you, I think we want in the same. The standard is a standard. Look, we're not accepting mediocre crap. I mean, we can't control that. We fans, we're gonna show up. The players gonna do what they do. The coaches gonna do what they do. But as a fan, we don't want to hear 8-8 is the seal. 8-4 is the ceiling and all that. When we've seen what these teams can do, Florida State and Miami. So when somebody comes and say, "Well, this year we might go 9-3," or the limit, the highest we can get is 9-3, it's like, and everybody accepted. I'm like, man, I'm looking for 12-0 every single season until we lose a game. And when we lose a game, I'm looking for 11-1. We lose another one, okay, 10-2. But don't tell me at the beginning of the season, before any football is played, that our ceiling is this or that, or this is what we'll accept.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same exact way, man. Like I expect us because, like I said, because I've seen teams do this. You know what I'm saying? There's too many teams like I said, like I remember they were like the first year with Mike, it was it's his first year. So what do you expect? I'm like, well, Boston College had a first year coach at that time too. Well, we only won this many games the year before. I'm like, that's interesting because Boston College won the same amount the next year. I mean, the same year that we had won. Like everything about us in BC was identical, except for we had 2 different coaches in a shorter period of time. I was like, but they made a freaking bowl game. So, and now people are changing the narrative already because we got LSU coming up. And I'm like, hey, but by our standards, LSU has a new staff. So we should destroy them because like y'all said, when you have a new staff, you're supposed to struggle.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, LSU is pretty. I'm like, okay, now we're switching again. So, at the end of the day, like I said, man, I'm a nose to the day I die. My love is for the school, not just the school. What's that?
See me. I go into every single game, It's winnable until we lose.
That's
Plain
it.
and simple.
That's it.
Plain and simple. Every game is winnable until we lose. Because if you're going to be a fan and you're going to be defeated before you even take a snap, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's talk about the Mims situation. I'm pretty sure you're following it. Twitter's blowing it up. Warchant jumped the gun, said he's commit. Now he's pulled his name out the transfer portal, going back to Georgia. What were your initial thoughts on that whole reporting?
I don't really listen to a lot of stuff that goes on at Warchant. I stopped paying attention to a lot of stuff they said when they made the claims that we were the youngest team in the country, and that's why we were struggling. When I start seeing people like that, like groups like that make excuses, that's when I kind of tune out. You know what I'm saying? And bro, I did research. Like I literally went from Akron all the way down to UNLV. You know what I'm saying? Checking the freshmen, the sophomores, the freshmen, how many they got, how many seniors, all that stuff. And I found like 5-6 different teams younger than us. And I said something on there, and they actually blocked me. And I was like, all right, whatever, man, cool. But when I see people start doing the excuses like that, that's why I was like, you know what? Let me not pay attention. So as soon as I saw the Mims thing, everybody was hype. Oh yeah, and I was like, dude, that's pretty quick. My first initial thought was he just got to campus, and y'all already talking about he's committing.
No, when I saw that, my first thought was like, okay, so if he did commit to Florida State, why not give him the opportunity to put that out there? Why steal his shine and thunder? So now when he does go back to Georgia, you guys just look absolutely ridiculous. Because I mean, it opens up your fan base to a lot of trolling. Man.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm in the Nose versus Canes hate group on Facebook.
I'm probably in there.
Yeah, we stay on that. Right now, a lot of us are pretty silent. But see, that's why I don't talk that stuff, man. I don't talk that recruiting. I don't talk the transfer stuff because I know at any minute, any moment, these kids can say, you know what, and I'm transferring it, and I'm gonna go here or pull a Travis Hunter. You know what I'm saying? At any minute, they can sit up there and do something like that. So it's like I don't get into a lot of stuff. I got a friend of mine. He runs Spear Addicts on Facebook. He gets a lot of his info from the players, man. So when it comes to who I follow, like for information and stuff like that, I got a couple kids that I know on the team. But when it comes to who I follow, man, I listen to him a lot. Chris Frazier, man, does a great job with that, man. So I'm like, that's who I tend to go to my information for and everything, man. But yeah, man, the Mims situation, like you said, it just sets you up for more trolling because it's like you get super excited just for the kid to go, never mind, I'm gonna stay home.
All right, man. I know I'm taking up a lot of your time right now, but the Florida State versus Miami game this season, it's gonna be at Hard Rock. You plan on attending?
Yes. One thing I tell you, listen. After that 52-10 beating that we got, you know,
I was in the building. I was there.
Okay. And we were going to go. I looked at my daughter before we went. First of all, for anybody who's seen the picture.
Hold on. Speaking of that, before you get into it, speaking of that, Kadu got a little snippet.
Here, we back. Florida State is back, and we're going to show that Saturday.
Okay, you know what? All right, I got you. Wonderful. But my daughter, who is no till she dies, she actually has a softball game in like 30 minutes, man. She's diehard. Follow Anya's Animal Adventures. Sorry, I had to throw it in there. Anya's Animal Adventures.
You can throw it in there.
She's a young 15-year-old, youngest African-American female snake breeder in the country, on her way doing straight A's, heading to hopefully Florida State to play softball. But I tell her all the time, when we got beat 52-10 the next year, was that the year that y'all didn't get to have the spring game, or did y'all get to have the spring game after 52-10?
Nah, we didn't have the spring game.
That's the one where I went and met up with the other boys and we did the interview that they did or whatnot. But I told her, she was like, are we still going to go? I said, baby girl, you can't be that fan that shows up when you win but doesn't want to show up when you lose. Right. I said, if we lose, look, we talk it. We do this a lot. So when we lose, hey, let's just show. If it had been at TransPower, if it had been at Hard Rock, we still would have been there. We would have listened to 52-10 the whole day, and we would have just ate it. Because if we can show up when we 4th and 14 squeak it out, then we need to be able to show up whenever it's, you know. But as for going to the game, I live like 10 minutes from there. There's a good chance I'll be there. probably won't be noticed because we won't be close up to it, man. But we'll definitely probably be there to the game, man, to watch and watch us make it 2 in a row.
All right. Well, unfortunately for you, that's not gonna happen. But hey, hey, if you do come to the game though, man, I'd love to meet up with you. You know, take a picture, shake your hand, and everything. I love to see it, man. Love to see
For
fans.
sure, man.
I love this rivalry. This channel is probably the biggest Hurricane rivalry channel. I'm pretty sure half of the other channels don't even have, you know, other fans of Florida State and everything on there. But mine's are open. My arms are open and welcome to all of you guys, man. Appreciate
man. I appreciate
taking the time.
that.
Appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this quick interview with me.
No doubt, man. Can I do a quick thing real quick? I just want to say, like I said, make sure you follow my daughter's page if you have kids. Anya's Animal Adventures, ONYAS, Animal Adventures. If you have kids, they'll love her page. Send a shout out to Mr. Charles, who's a diehard Cane that works at the same high school that I work at. I think his name's like Sigma Cane on Twitter. I cried plenty of times on his floor during our rough times. And yeah, man, other than that, I just want to remind everybody the 2013 Seminoles is better than the 2001 Canes. And we can talk about that anytime. Hey, we can talk about that anytime.
Hey, but while we doing shout outs, man, shout out to Rising Spears. You know, they collected a couple pocket change and lint money today. Anyways, man, appreciate having you on, boss. This was a hell of a joy to do. And hey,
for sure, man.
Go Canes.
Go Noles, anytime.
All right, boss. Take it easy.